So, Mr. Anthony Willoughby, my good friend, is coming all the way over in August on the 16th to talk to us around the campfire about his work. And I am so passionate about sharing his work. If you've done anything with me before, you will have done a territory map. And the territory maps came from Anthony, who has spent a lot of time all around the world speaking to incredible people and working with Indigenous tribes all over the world. And some of that wisdom that he brings back fits so beautifully with Mojo School, because it is having that ancient wisdom that we have lost, we have forgotten, and we have started to get so distracted with the wrong things that we are creating generation after generation of sick human beings. Like it or not, doesn't matter your political affiliation or your belief system, there is no denying and no getting away from the fact of this truth. And this truth that needs to be acknowledged, it needs to be spoken about, and it needs to be changed. We're getting sicker and sicker and sicker. We have a generation full of really emotionally dysregulated and harmed young people who are then breeding the next generation, right? We need to do something. And this morning, Mr. Willoughby has sent over to our group of change makers the most incredible thing I have ever read. And I wanted to print it out and read it to you today. It's like Jackanory Corner, isn't it? And if these words hit you in any way, then I want to hear from you. And I would love to see you in August over at Halcombe Castle Wood. I'll be sharing more details over the coming weeks of that if you haven't already seen things, if you haven't already got your ticket. But these words that I'm going to share with you now, if you are a young person, if you're a student, if you are a parent, if you are a teacher, an educator, a TA, if you are in any way interested in the topic of education, this is for you. Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. Education beyond trinkets. A manifesto for relevance, identity, and contribution. We are raising generations who believe that their worth comes from what they own, not who they are. Our schools, shaped by industrial logic and colonial assumptions, have been quietly teaching the same lie for over a century. Relevance comes from achievement measured by trinkets, grades, titles, possessions, and applause. This is not education. This is indoctrination into external validation and internal emptiness. The problem is that curriculums reward conformity, not curiosity. Success is framed as accumulation, not contribution. Children learn to compete for prizes, not connect with purpose. Cultural wisdom is replaced by standardized metrics. We are preparing young minds to survive in systems that are already failing, environmentally, socially, and spiritually. So, what Indigenous wisdom remembers? Remember all these connections with Mojo School and my piece of work. Every single word I've just read to you hits every single part of my teachings and my work. Indigenous wisdom remembers. In Aboriginal and Maasai traditions, for example, and in countless Indigenous cultures across the world, children are not raised to gather trinkets. They are raised to know who they are, to understand where they belong, to learn what they are here to contribute. They grow through story, responsibility, ceremony, and community, not comparison and consumption. And a new education is possible, and that's the whole point of these conversations in our gathering, is to speak and talk about these things and imagine new possibilities and share tools and ways of working that are already successful. An education beyond trinkets is not anti-technology or anti-progress. I can attest to that. It is pro-relevance, pro-identity, pro-contribution. It teaches students to map their lives around three ancient questions. What am I hunting? My goals, aspirations, and dreams. What am I protecting? My values, people, and principles. And what am I growing? My contribution, creativity, and legacy. The whole point of our territory mapping tool is to help to identify just that. The invitation. We are not just redesigning education. We are rediscovering our human instincts. Let us raise a generation who no longer seek to prove their worth with trinkets, but who know their worth through who they become and what they give. This is education beyond trinkets. It's how we close the gap, build respect, and reawaken relevance. Mic drop, even though I haven't got a mic that I can drop. Tell me that's not true. Tell me that doesn't hit you. Tell me that doesn't speak to your soul. These are words of wisdom. These are words of truth. And these are the conversations that we need to be having right now.